महबूब दे देखने कारण
What is up, fellow Call of Duty MLG Alpha Woke Alpha Stud Muffin gaming athletes? Welcome to another amazing video by yours truly, Ocho Pensamientos. Listen, man, so there's a lot of drama going on right now within the YouTube and kind of Call of Duty scene, if you count Only Use Me Blade as a Call of Duty YouTuber, even though he walked away from that years ago to be a drunk idiot and pretty much just act like a moron, and now allegedly take advantage, we'll say, of a female while on stream who was passed out drunk. Yeah, we're going to say that word for now on for the YouTube, algorithm took advantage of. And then you got this ProJared weird looking scarecrow kind of figure who looks like a character from Beetlejuice. Who, was sending some nudes back and forth with some fans, and they were trying to, say they weren't 18, and then he showed all the freaking conversations. Everyone was like, cancel this Jared weirdo scarecrow-looking character from Beetlejuice. And this is two cases that seem to be kind of similar in a way, but also kind of opposite in a way, but who knows at this point. The ProJared situation was the cancel culture of YouTube and the kind of thing that goes on nowadays by people who don't use any facts, don't use any information, just jump on the bandwagon of social media hate towards somebody without actually even reading anything into it, without looking into it, and just simply like, oh, this person's bad, get the torches, get the pickaxes, we're going to go to this person's house, tear him down, and drag him out in the field and, put him up on a freaking cross and crucify them. That's kind of what the internet is like nowadays. It's like the modern version of a hate mob back in this, 1500s when they thought they had witches living next door. And so instead of using like common sense and logic and whatnot, people would just, basically, if you don't know how it worked back in the old dark ages, as they like to say, if they accused you of being a witch, how they would prove or not you're a witch is they would drown you. They would hog tie you and throw you into water and drown you or burn you. And if you didn't drown, they're like, oh, well, I guess that person wasn't a witch, but they're dead. Well, our bad, but she wasn't a witch. Oh, cool. Or what they do is they would burn you at the stake, and if you didn't burn, well, then you must be a witch. But if you burned, which obviously everyone burned, that, oh, our bad again, she is a witch. It wasn't a witch, rather. Oops, our bad. Okay, well, anyways, carrying back on to walk around with bubonic plague and, just our cousins. And that's kind of similar to like what happens now in this cancel culture. If you ever look at that Ray Charles or James Charles, or we want to call him, the dude who is like the makeup, million zillionaire, has this, line over at Sephora, and how he did so much wrong, and this person made a huge video and gained million subs, and then that person ended up being proven to be wrong, and then Ray Charles, James Charles, that person ends up being right and vindicated, but pretty much his whole YouTube career is going down the toilet, as you'd like to say. And then, we got more information, our bad. James Charles, Ray Charles' younger gay brother who does makeup, didn't actually do anything wrong. And that's what happened with this ProJared Beetlejuice looking guy. And then he exchanged nudes with his fellow fans, and then his wife tried to destroy him because she hates him and she's a psycho. And then ended up being proven that she was just gloating about how she ruined his career and lied about everything, and everyone had it wrong. So our bad there, Mr. Beetlejuice looking dude. You aren't actually a witch, and thank God we didn't burn you at the stake, but we sort of the proverbial metaphorical burn people at the stake nowadays on the internet. And that now, ladies and gentlemen, brings us to none other than Only Use Me Blade. Now, a lot of you probably were not familiar with ProJared on this channel, but Only Use Me Blade, I'm sure a lot of you are more, familiar with when it comes to YouTube. And if you aren't, well, quick backstory. Only Use Me Blade started off his career like 10 years ago, 11 years ago, as a guy who played Call of Duty and only used his knife. Sort of like Knives Only nowadays. He was one of the very first iterations of that kind of Call of Duty YouTuber, and he was called Only Use Me Blade. And he is one of the founding fathers, as dumb as that sounds, for Call of Duty commentaries.
Hello everyone, my name is CNanners, and I have a guest with me today. Sir, if you would be so kind as to introduce yourself and tell the people who you are.
Sure, Adam. What's up, guys? It's Only Use Me Blade here, and like the name says, all I do is I shank people when I play Call of Duty.
You know, he had a pretty good personality. He was kind of a cool, chill dude and just did gameplay commentaries, was a machinima director, and, you know, like I said, one of the OG Call of Duty YouTubers. And then, obviously, the YouTube algorithm started to change, and those old school, like, Hutch channels for Call of Duty, he didn't really adapt to it very well, and his channel started to die out, and people didn't really enjoy watching his commentary anymore, and he was left with having to move on to streaming, which was the beginning of his downfall for him, but the, you know, pretty much rising for other people, because he looked like a complete utter mongoloid drunk idiot on his streams on a regular basis, and that's why people tuned in for him, is for the car wreck that he was while streaming.
Hi, Blade. My dad died
It's a very
today.
sad
Can
one.
you please be quiet and dedicate 30 seconds to his favorite
He
song?
wants a 30-second
Please
silence.
take off your hat.
He wants to take off your hat. For his 30-second silence.
Look at the top of his head.
Y'all some up boys. Yeah, they got me. I love you guys.
Sort of like Wings of Redemption. Mostly people aren't there to be entertained by actually, you know, being genuinely interested in them. People are mostly there to be entertained because you are a car wreck, an idiot, and they just can't wait to see what you're going to do dumb next.
I'm just trolling you, chill. It's not
Whatever. I hope your family dies in an automobile wreck.
And that is what happened to Only Use Me Blade. He became a drunk streamer doing stupid stuff for donations, passing out, just acting like a complete and utter goof. And then, you know, he got creepier and creepier and started groping women and doing weird stuff, and as always said, disgusting things. And his true nature sort of came out. And I don't know if it was the alcohol that turned him into a total, complete, utter creep, or it just took like the alcohol and being on stream all the time to present his true nature and who he really was. Which brings us to the current situation, and I don't know if what is happening here is actually taking advantage of a female or not, and it is under police investigation as it stands. From what I've seen on the video, it looks like as if he did take advantage of another female. Because of his past behavior of being a groper and a weirdo and saying really disgusting things to females, it wouldn't be or seem to be out of character if he were to do such a thing as take advantage of the female who is passed out drunk in the back of a camper van. But as it stands, he still has not been found guilty in a court of law, and I am not sure if this is another instance of a witch hunt where we're going to burn somebody at the stake, or if he actually really did do it. Now, in my opinion, like I said, it looks like he has actually done it, but I think we should wait until the actual charges are laid. The girl did say that she felt that she was taken advantage of, and that she feels that she was passed out drunk when she was taken advantage of from the big fat slob known as Only Use Me Blade. So a lot of evidence does point to the fact that this guy did actually take advantage of a female who was passed out drunk in the back of a camper van while the stream was going. But here's the problem, and I see people on the internet, and I've seen tweets from Faye Censor, for example, who people like to make fun of, current company included, for being kind of an idiot, actually made a good point, but I have a good counter to that tweet. But his tweet makes sense, and for people who are intelligent and who aren't the kind of, you know, dumb hate mob that occurs now on the internet all the time, he says, "It's amazing to me that in 2019 people are still making judgments on a person strictly off of a headline or a YouTube video title thumbnail. As a content creator, this type of it really bothers me. You'd be mind blown with the type of things I see. Just do 10 seconds of research." And I totally agree with that, 110%. Like, right, that's what this video is kind of about. We're looking at how pro Jared and how the whole fiasco with him being destroyed or trying to be destroyed was sort of wrong, was the whole mob mentality, and he ends up being vindicated. And now we're talking about Only Using Blade, who does seem like he's done wrong, but you know what, we're not quite sure yet. And unfortunately, though, the sad truth in my response to that is that this sheep mentality and cancer culture we have and bandwagon of hate without any proof, which is mostly just based on emotion, is never going to stop. It's going to continue, because those who believe and who, you know, fall victim to this stupid mentality are dumb people. And dumb people can't be reasoned with, and they don't learn. So that's why they are the dumb people. And that's why you have these mob mentalities, because the smart people are able to slow down, stop, not get emotionally involved, be able to gather their thoughts, do some critical thinking of their own, not the mob mentality, and then come to conclusion based upon information and facts and logic and not emotion, which is how most people are driven nowadays, which is emotion. So a long story short, to wrap this video up, is that, you know what, Pro Jared ends up being vindicated. He didn't do anything wrong, really, like nothing illegal. It was done on accident, and the cancel culture was wrong again, just like they've been for many times before in the past. And then we bring that now to Only Use Me Blade, which in my opinion, I don't have proof. I'm not going to go out there and say like he did it or didn't do it. He is an idiot to begin with. I don't like the guy. I think he's kind of a piece of, dog doo-doo of a human being to begin with before this accusations of taking advantage of a female occurred. But I'm not sure if he really did do it or didn't do it. We'll have to wait and see what the actual ruling is by the police and what happens with the female and what she has to say. And you know what, man? It's really just that people have to start slowing down and take their emotions out of it and start waiting for some facts, information, do a little research on their own, and stop being stupid sheep, long story short. And with all that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed the video. My name is 8 Thoughts. Thank you very much for watching. If you're new here, do me a favor, hit that like button and subscribe. That'd be fantastic. And last but not least, and most importantly, my pedigree chums, you all stay black. You don't honk around to shape shit to building, no bitch, Spank, Kim, Chills, Down, Logical, Tower 7, not people, growers, elves, or flat moons, fake elves, Joseph Billix, or frogs, gay, white men. Bring you down. I'll see you all in the next video. Take it easy, everybody.